You know that little black box that programmers are always typing into? Have you ever wondered what the deal is with that thing? Well, let's dive in, because it is absolutely not some relic of the past. In fact, it's one of the most powerful tools you can possibly use on a computer. Welcome to our explainer. This quote from our source material really gets to the heart of it all. I mean, we all know how to click on icons, drag windows around. That's the graphical user interface, the GUI. And it's great. It's designed to make simple things super simple. But what about the hard things? What if you want to do something that the original designers never even dreamed of? Well, that's where the command line comes in. So on the left, you've got that familiar world of the GUI. You see your files, you click them, it's totally intuitive. And then on the right, you have the command line. Now, I know it might look a little empty, a little intimidating, but it's not. It is an incredibly expressive way of communicating with a computer, kind of like how the written word is for us. It's a language, and today, we're going to learn the basics of how to speak it. Okay, so how do we even start this conversation with the machine? It's actually way more straightforward than you probably think. And you don't even have to leave your comfortable, familiar desktop behind to do it. The first thing you've got to know about is something called the shell. The shell is the program that's actually listening to you. It's the interpreter. It understands the commands you type, and then it tells the operating system what to do. Think of it as the computer's direct translator. And how do we access that shell? We do it through this, a terminal emulator. It's really just an app, just like your web browser or your music player. It's a program that opens up a window right into the command line. You can open it, you can close it, you can move it around, just like any other program. It's basically our portal into this more powerful world. Now, what's really cool here is how natural this whole conversation can be. Just think about it. When you open a folder on your desktop, what's the first thing you do? You kind of look around, right? You ask yourself a series of really simple questions. And the command line mirrors that process perfectly. You can literally ask, where am I right now? With the pwd command, which stands for print working directory. Then you can ask, okay, what's in this folder? With the ls command to list all the contents. And then you can say, all right, let's go into that other directory over there with cd to change directory. See? It's the exact same logic, you're just using words instead of clicks. But here's the thing. Those single commands, they're just the beginning. The real magic, the thing that makes those difficult tasks possible, is how you can connect them all together. And this, my friends, is where the command line really becomes an art form. So imagine we want to see a list of every single program that's available on our system. We could run a command kind of like this. And what we get back is, well, it's a mess. It's a massive, unsorted, just overwhelming wall of text. By itself, this isn't very helpful at all. It's just raw data without end structure. And this brings us to this core concept of filters. Just think of them as small, specialized tools. Each one does one simple thing. It takes some text in, it changes it somehow, and then it passes it along. So what if we could take that messy wall of text and pass it through a series of these filters? Well, the tool for that job is this little thing right here, the pipe symbol. And it works just like plumbing. It connects the output of one command directly into the input of the next one. This lets us build a completely custom workflow right there on the command line, totally on the fly. Let's actually see how this works. So we start with our huge, messy list of programs. We pipe that whole list to the sort command to put everything in alphabetical order. Okay, better. Then we take that sorted list and pipe it to unique-d to find only the lines that are duplicates. We've just answered a pretty complex question. Which programs appear in both of these directories? And finally, just so it's readable, we pipe the result to less so we can view it one page at a time. In one single line, we just built a custom tool that didn't even exist a minute ago. That's the power. Now, this ability to combine small, simple tools into something powerful and new, it isn't just a cool feature, it's a whole philosophy. It's a completely different way of thinking about how we interact with our computers. The source material for this explainer puts it so beautifully with this analogy. A GUI, like a Game Boy, is basically a finished product. You can play the games it comes with, but you can't really change them or create new ones.
The command line, on the other hand, is like an Erector set. It gives you this big box full of simple parts, struts, screws, gears, and it lets you decide what to build.
And that is the big idea here. With a graphical interface, you're using pre-built applications. You're using finished products. But with the command line, you're given a set of universal building blocks. You can combine them in ways the original creators probably never even imagined to solve problems that are totally unique to you. It takes on the shape of your own imagination. So look at the journey we've just been on. We went from a simple blinking cursor all the way to building a custom data processing tool in a single line. We've seen that the command line isn't about being old-fashioned or complicated. It's about having a direct, powerful, and creative conversation with your machine. Ultimately, this is the command line's superpower. It sees the world as text, and text is something you can sort, you can filter, you can search, and you can totally transform. It doesn't matter if it's a list of files, the configuration of your entire system, or even data you pull down from the internet, it can all be shaped and molded with these simple, powerful tools. So, in the end, the command line is an Erector set for your ideas. It gives you the parts and it gives you the freedom to construct whatever it is you can imagine. The only question left is, what will you build?